I'm Carol Smith. I'm a staff engineer at UL, and I work for the E&PT business unit, and I specifically work for the electronic control segment.
My name is Lenore Berman, and I'm a senior quality engineer at UL.
My name is Robb Goldstein. I'm the manager of financial planning and analysis for one of our business units, and I've been with UL for about 14 years now.
One of my favorite teachers was Mr. Jones, and that was when I was in high school.
I actually went back to my high school guidance counselor, and the reason I did that is because she's the one that suggested I pursue engineering. Had it not been for her, I would not be where I am today.
My favorite teacher would be Mr. Propolis, my high school AP physics teacher.
My girlfriends and I signed up for auto mechanics just so we can learn some basic things about taking care of a car. And he accepted all of us as girls coming into the class. And then also he was the co-op instructor. And he offered me a position out at General Motors Proving Grounds. I started out as administrative and then was given the opportunity to work with various engineers, and that's what got me involved in electrical engineering.
As far as the teacher goes, I had one professor, Dr. George Schrader, he was an amazing, incredible, intelligent man who was able to come down to your level, and he could answer a question 3-4 different ways until you got it.
Well, he had a great sense of humor. He was very engaging, and he really encouraged a love of science.
Although he was brilliant, he met you where you were, and he never talked down to you or made you feel as if you weren't worth his time. So you got a sense of that you're valuable, you matter, and that's something that I'll never forget about him.
He really encouraged us to get involved with science, and as a matter of fact, he sponsored me in something called the Duracell Invented Device competition, where I worked with him to develop, it was the first step towards actually working for a safer world, because it was a pen that had a light switch or a switch on it and a light bulb. So if you have a great idea in the middle of the night as an inventor, you could write it down by turning on your pen without getting out of bed, making it safe to do so. So surprisingly, I did not win the competition, but it was a great time and it really fostered a love of science.
My professor, Dr. Schrader, the way he inspired me and impacted me to be different, I would say, is that understanding that people learn differently, and that if they're not understanding it, it's on you to help them to do that and not because there's something wrong with them. So always to approach people as individuals, meet them where they are, be respectful, and continue working with them until they tell you they get it. And then you go on to whatever's next.
He gave me confidence that you can try something different, especially back at the time, women were more into the administrative, and gave me confidence to say, hey, you can try new paths.
My guidance counselor, Edna Leonard, she actually suggested that engineering was not even in my considerations. I was either going to major in psychology or music. And she said that there was this program at the University of California, Davis for minority students who were maybe interested in engineering, and it was a 1-week program. It was a wonderful experience, and for her to have looked at me and said, I know Carol can do this, kind of blew me away, because again, it's not something I would have considered. So she was the initiator, the catalyst for me even considering that this was a possibility, and once engineering seed was planted in my head, it was a matter of which discipline and where to go to school and so forth. But again, she's the reason that I'm here at UL today.
I think that they're a lot more than just when walking into a course. They're there to help you, guide you into the future. Maybe what you're not necessarily into the class, you're able to take that down the road and be able to use it.
I would tell her thank you for believing in me and seeing something in me that not even my parents saw, or that I didn't see in myself. She believed in me more than I believed in myself, and I would thank her for that.
I would tell them thanks for giving me the confidence and leading me into seeing some other parts and jobs that I could take on.
I'd say, Mr. Propolis, thank you very much for giving me the inspiration to think creatively and to appreciate science.
Some professors were there to get through the day. He was there to meet the needs of the students and make sure that we got what he was teaching. And I would just thank him for his patience and his passion and his love for educating, because you can tell those who enjoy doing it and those who are doing it as a means to go on to do something else. And that's not who he was. He was someone who was a true educator who was energized by teaching students and knowing that they were learning from him what he was teaching. They actually got the message. It was instilled in them. And that's what I would thank him for.
Is there gonna be like an outtakes reel? Should I do something funny like fall over or say, I forgot my line?